Welcome back. Thanks a lot for staying with us. We're getting some breaking updates now coming in. Protesters now protesting against the Lingayat Seer, who's under the scanner of agencies now and police officials because of allegations that have been made of sexual harassment. Pictures of the pontiff burned in Chitradurga. The statue of the Shivamurti Charan has been vandalized as well. So a lot of anger on the streets, considering the fact a lot of people today are questioning the delay as far as the arrest of this seer is concerned. Remember, this is a prominent Lingayat seer, has sexual harassment allegations against him by 2 minors. My colleague Ritu is now joining us on the broadcast with more details. Ritu, where are these protests happening and what is the ground situation?
Yes, so the protest is in Maladi village in the Chitradurga itself, where the protesters are expressing the outrage and the delay that this kind of an action that has not been taken from the police and the officials to not giving it an importance, as the protesters are claiming that out. So that's the kind of a situation that we're getting to see, where the posters of the seer are being burnt and then the open vandalism as well that is taking place, where you see the Sri Shivamurti Charanu's statue, in fact, being vandalized by these protesters. So that's the kind of an allegation that these protesters are also making, that why is there a delay in the action from the police and the officials as well, because it's been a long time, like in fact almost 4 days that an FIR was been registered from the Mysuru-based NGO, in fact, and there is no still any action that is taking place in this whole incident, when there's a very sensitive issue and a serious matter that has to be taken up very seriously from the officials. There is still a delay. So you can also hear in the kind of slogans that are being raised from these protesters against the officials for not taking up an action.
Okay, Ritu, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Let's also shift our focus to some other stories that we're tracking. An old video of retired Justice Indu Malhotra is now doing the rounds on social media. In it, she's heard saying that communist governments have taken over the Hindu temples, alluding to the Kerala's Padmanabh Swami temple. She had said that along with Justice U.U. Lalit, she had halted such brazen government takeovers. She has also alleged that the government is specifically exploiting Hindu temples for revenue and she won't allow it. In 2018, remember, Indu Malhotra was the only woman judge on the Sabrimala bench who had solely opposed the entry of women. In July 2020, the Apex Court bench had maintained that the Travancore royal family had the rights to look after the Padmaswamy temple.
That's what happens with these communist governments. They want to just take over because of the revenue. Their problem is the revenue. All over they've taken over. All over. Only Hindu temples. So Justice Lalit and I said, no, we'll not allow it.
Let me also now bring in my colleague Ananya, who's been tracking all these developments for us. Ananya, give us a better context of where this comment was made and in the past, the similar stand that we've seen by now retired Justice Indu Malhotra.
Well, Ridhima, see, this video has been doing rounds on social media, though a proper authenticity of this video could not be confirmed. We also tried contacting Justice Indu Malhotra with regards to the issue, but then we could not establish a contact with the former judge. But what it appears is that, in fact, Mr. Shashi Tharoor had also tweeted about meeting Justice Indu Malhotra in Travancore Medical College over an event, and following which in this video also appears to be of a southern temple, and the cloths that she's wearing is also of a similar in fact, the same. So basically, it can be figured out that it is from a temple in Travancore. And remember that this is, in fact, Justice Indu Malhotra and Justice U.U. Lalit's bench earlier, which had, in fact, given out a very, very long judgment on Swami Padmanabh temple, wherein it had given out certain rights to the Travancore royal family to take over this temple, and however had created a committee to look after the day-to-day affairs of this particular temple. And in this video, she's been saying that the communist governments are trying to take over the Hindu temples, basically because of the revenue. Because remember that the temples in the south have a huge revenue, a lot of gold and other belongings come in as prasad, as in fact donations, and hence we have seen that the various matters with regards to this is pending before various courts of the country, and it is a very, very long pending dispute, Ridhima, that is going on before various legal forums in the country. And remember, today also also, in fact, a petition was filed by Mr. Subramaniam Swamy, who's the BJP MP and a senior lawyer, with regards to the appointment of acharkas in certain temples and by the government. And in fact, Supreme Court has also issued notice on this particular petition. We also spoke to Mr. Satya Sabharwal, who also says that these issues, though are not exactly connected, but somewhere or the other, these temple controls is a very, very big issue and is going on for a long while before various forums of the country. Ridhima.
Okay, Ananya, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. We're getting some other updates now coming in. We're understanding AAP MLAs are protesting against the Delhi LG. They're demanding a CBI probe against the LG over the charges of pressurizing of his employees to exchange old currency notes during demonetization in 2016. AAP MLAs have declared that they will continue the protest in the assembly throughout the night.
बताइए कि रात भर प्रोटेस्ट करने का क्या मतलब है? रात भर प्रोटेस्ट करने का क्या मतलब? What is the significance?
We are a very small party. Our only request to the central government is that the man who is the LG today, he was a chairman of KVIC, Khadi Village Industries Commission. And there are very grave allegations that during the time of demonetization, the cashiers of KVIC were forced by the staff to convert old currency into new. And it was said that the old currency belongs to the then chairman of KVIC, Mr. V.K. Saxena. These are very grave allegations. We want an independent inquiry into this whole scenario so that LG comes clean out of it.
So do you feel that by protesting in this manner inside the premises of the Delhi Assembly is going to strengthen your case?
I think we don't have many options. We are a very small party. We do not have our investigating agencies. We can only request to the central government, and we can just pressurize central government through our sacrifices.
The BJP has already said that this is a diversionary tactics and you're trying to divert the attention from the scams or the alleged scams that the Aam Aadmi Party's government is involved in.
I think for last 2 months, we have been answering all the questions of BJP. The BJP has been saying that if there is a inquiry, what is the problem? Now we are asking BJP, if there is an inquiry, what is the problem? Let there be an inquiry. Let LG come out clean. I think the rules of the game should be equal for both the parties. If we are open for inquiry, we are being scrutinized in every debate, they should also be scrutinized.
So a fresh flashpoint between AAP and the LG. Let me bring in my colleague Rupashri, who's been tracking all these developments. Rupashri, talk to us about why these AAP MLAs are protesting and what are they demanding at this point?
Well, actually, this first started during a discussion when the confidence motion was on in the floor of the House. It was Aam Aadmi Party MLA Durgesh Pathak who initially raised this, alleging that the current Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Mr. V.K. Saxena, while he was the chairman of the KVIC, allegedly pressurized employees, lower-ranking employees such as cashiers, to accept black money and convert that into white money. So that's a very, very grave allegation. And following that, actually, there was a lot of protests in the floor of the House, and which led to repeated adjournments of the House, and the confidence motion couldn't go forward, and that has been postponed until tomorrow, and the House had to be adjourned. Meanwhile, what the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs did, each one of them took turns in addressing press conferences, in which they stepped up their demand for a CBI probe into this alleged scam, plus and a probe also by the ED. So Aam Aadmi Party MLAs Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj have alleged that this is a case of money laundering, and this is a case of converting black money into white, and therefore it should be investigated both by the CBI and by the ED. Atishi has also sought an appointment with the CBI director to make a formal complaint. Meanwhile, Aam Aadmi Party MLAs are all set to protest through the evening. They'll stay over in the night in the premises of the Delhi Assembly and then take the protest tomorrow, forward tomorrow. We'll have to see how the story develops.
So they plan to take the protest until tomorrow as well. Rupashri, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Shifting focus then, according to CBI sources, we are now understanding Bihar may join the list of opposition states to have withdrawn general consent to the CBI. Sources are also saying that Nitish has said that this is the right time to withdraw general consent. This comes just days after CBI raids against Lalu Yadav's aides in the land for job scam. Now, according to the CBI sources, land for job scam in Bihar could be worth 100 crore rupees, and the investigation has found 250 land deeds. These land deeds were reportedly of job aspirants who sold or gifted their land to Lalu Yadav's family or their associates, allegedly to get jobs in railways when he in fact was the minister. Let me bring in my colleague Arunima, who in fact is picking up all this information for us by the means of sources. So Arunima, two things here. What are sources within the CBI telling you this is now going to be seen as a political move as well because of the Mahagathbandhan that has been formed recently? And more importantly, what was the modus operandi as far as this call center or what was being seen as functioning as a corporate?
So as far as the Bihar administration, Bihar government's decision or likely decision that they're going to withdraw general consent, CBI doesn't appear perturbed. They are saying that this FIR is lodged here in New Delhi, so it doesn't matter if Bihar police denies jurisdiction to CBI. In any case, they have carried out their searches, collected most of the evidence, and this FIR has been under probe since May 18. Before that, a preliminary inquiry also gave them a lot of proof about the alleged scam. Second thing they're saying is that as far as political allegations that are being made, the fact is that they have evidence and they are going to prove that in a court of law. Finally, they're saying if Bihar government is saying that they're going to withdraw general consent, do they mean that they're going to protect from corruption investigation the central government employees who are working in Bihar, because that is the primary jurisdiction of CBI. State government employees or state government functionaries come under CBI scanner only if High Court or Supreme Court asks for a probe, and that will not be affected even if general consent is withdrawn. Now, to answer the second part of your question about modus operandi, CBI investigation has found out that there was a specialized cell being run from Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav's house, allegedly, where trained professionals would take up the job aspirants case like a turnkey project and help them with documents.
Okay, Arunima, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Well, with that, we're completely out of time. It's a wrap from my side. Viewpoint is up next.